What's up, everyone? Gonna show you guys my battle healing loadout and then show you some gameplay footage afterwards. Um, so, all my gear is all healer gear or OP items. Um, I don't really substitute any healer gear for DPS gear. I want to do damage, but my primary role is healer, so that is what I'm going to focus on. Now, everything else around my gear is going to be more DPS centric. I'm going to have a little bit of DPS stuff in my arts, but most of this can be used for both. Book can be used both for DPS and healing at the same time. Um, the transformation card, again, applies to healer and DPS at the same time. Eye of Gemini can be used both at the same time. And this one's straight up healer artifact. And this kind of helps when you're trying to focus on more DPS while you're healing. This gives everybody a little safety net. And in my rotation, I kind of spam my group heal. As you'll see, it's a normal part. Both of my group heals are a normal part of my rotation. So this provides a little bit of a safety net if I'm in the middle of something. I know that if somebody drops below 40% health, they're going to get picked back up, and it's usually a huge pickup because I stack Revivify pretty quick. The Omega Totality is still viable, and it's especially viable in this loadout. So this is the only straight up DPS artifact that has nothing to do with healing in my loadout. So that's pretty much all of that. For allies, I'm kind of running a greens and might boost mixture. So I am running Poison Ivy because I will be releasing poisons with Serpent's Call, which is also my supercharge generator. To get that big might boost, like I discussed in my last video. And then I'm running the Flash to get extra supercharge because I do like using a lot of supercharges. Because as you guys know, the 10k supercharge for nature is a damage supercharge. It has nothing to do with healing. But it does pretty decent damage, even as a healer, as you guys will see a couple times in the run. So that's what I kind of do. You could go straight up battle healer and pushing greens. You could replace Poison Ivy for Black Adam, and you'll build supercharges faster. But I still give out a pretty good, decent amount of greens, even without that. So I kind of stick to this when I straight up battle heal, and DPS will get what they get. I'm here to have fun and not just cater to DPSs so they can feel uber. So that's what I use for allies. Skill points. We'll go to skill points next. I have a decent amount of skill points, 770. Still working on that. Want to get well above 800. But you kind of see how I spec. I always get my crits. Always go after crits first. Crits are a big deal in this game. And if I'm going to run the transformation card that increases critical chance and critical magnitude, well, that one only increases critical chance. Why would I not spec into critical chance here? Just makes sense. But I always do this. I've always done this. Before I go after main stats, I'm always going to go after my crits first. Even if I was low skill point, I would still go after crits first. Crits are a big deal. Then I max out my resto because I want, remember, nature is all about heals over time. So me personally, I want those heals over time to be as big as possible. That's why I focus mostly on resto and Dom, because Dom will boost your shields, but it also boosts your heals by a little bit. And I forgot to mention, I am specking super powered. Just seem to get better power regeneration, and I don't use my weapon basically at all. This is a 100% might build. even as a healer. I'm not using weapon attacks at all. I might clip in weapon attacks every once in a while, but I don't currently have the weapon that I would prefer to use. If I had rifle, I would clip in more attacks, which hits AoE, which you could still do. We may do a video on clipping sometime in the future. But currently, this is just 100% might, all powers, so I'm going after power regeneration. So I'll get my 10% out of power and might. I'll get my 10% out of Dom. And as you know, after the first 100, everything is small incremental improvements, so it doesn't really make a lot of sense to really start stacking these with what little bit of might I have left. I use a lot of iconics. So you can do this without iconics, but it's not going to be nearly as effective. You could do a full nature dot damage healer, but you're not going to get the burst. And by the time you get all your dots up and spread them, which has a delay itself, a lot of times things are going to be dead. I need to redo my skill points because I'm never going to use this lasso. Hate it. Probably never going to use that. I've already got 2 supercharged generators. I do use this for Neo Venom boost from time to time, even in healer role, but not currently. Going more for a hybrid type thing. But this is going to get used, this is going to get used, this definitely could get used. I'm not currently using it, but if I think I need a supercharge with more heal capability but still does some damage, that's what I'll do. So I just want it on hand in case I want to use it. Of course, you get your super speed, like always. And so that's how your skill points are going to be spec'd out. On for my loadout. Most of my damage is coming from this loadout. And so I have all my HOTs here. And then I have Flourish to spread all your pheromones. And once you have these up, this will give you your 4th pheromone. And then all you got to do is hit this, and it will keep all your pheromones up. So technically, you don't ever have to hit these again if you just keep hitting this. So every time this comes off cooldown, you're going to see me hit it. Now, if you want a boost to your healing, you can come up and hit Savage Growth and Metabolism again. So these give pheromones, but they also give a secondary heal for 12 seconds every time you hit them. And I meant to say that's Metabolism. So you'll see, and I'll show you in a second, how if you reapply these, you can actually get a secondary heal and give a boost to healing your heals over time. And it is a heal over time secondary effect. So technically, you almost got like 6 heals going on at once. You can also, if you run the right artifact, if like I ran Purple Healing Ray, I could turn this and this into another HOT as well. But I'm not currently using Purple Healing Ray. Purple Healing Ray is great for when you're low on power. It's going to give you 20% back once you get your purple circle underneath you. And you can either hit this or you can hit your group heal. This gives you and one other person a shield. It's not a great shield. It's like 20% damage mitigation. This will give an extra HOT for 6 seconds. Pretty good. And it gives you 20% power back. So if you're in a raid, you're really struggling. Here, I'll even show you. If you're really struggling with power, which I've been running into quite a bit, you can throw your Purple Healing Ray on, and as you can see over there, that you get 20% power back when you use that group heal or priority heal. So that's good for power. I will also show you through your loadout. If you have somebody that's just not giving you power and you're just struggling, and you have Blue Lantern, Surging Barrier basically gives you a flood of power. It's a lifesaver. I'll swap that out for this. When you do this, it'll replenish all your power. It gives you 3 shields, which gives you 10% damage reduction. And then when you do a combo, like when you do this, it'll give out a surge of healing with each one, and expend those 3 shields. It's actually pretty OP, and I like to run it sometimes just for fun. But it comes in super clutch when you got a troll that's just not giving you any power, which I've been running into a lot. The raid you're going to see me run later is MOE, and Troll did a great job keeping me up with power. I didn't have to swap it out, which was awesome. I haven't gotten that lately. So it was fun to be able to just spam my damage supercharge, which can hit pretty hard. Like I said, I can get 3-4 million hits out of Savage Growth or Chaotic Growth, even in healer roll, especially when I'm all buffed up. And you'll see my might gets up over 1 million as a healer. So it's not all that strange for you to be buffed up over 1 million between pages and between Poison Ivy. So when I start a raid or content, I'm going to hit all 3 of these. I'm going to spam them, or I'm not going to spam them. I'm going to clip them. And then a lot of times I'll go ahead and clip this in just to get us started, because you know how DPS love to jump in before the tank hits. And then I'll probably hit this. And then I'm going to come over and I'm going to switch over to this loadout. And I'm going to start doing my Serpent Call. So I'm going to clip Serpent Call with Flourish to spread those pheromones to everybody. Because this isn't going to heal everybody. But once you spread them, it's healing everybody. So everybody's getting your HOTs. Just keep that up. I'm always clipping this with this, or this with this, or this I'll clip with this. You'll see throughout the raid quite a bit. I'm always clipping. And that's why this can be very power heavy. Because I'm not going to just do this power. I'm not going to just do that. I'm going to do this. And I'm going to always be clipping. So on that last animation, I'm going to clip. I'm going to clip. I'm always clipping. And that's why the power regeneration, or the power consumption is huge. If you got a weak troll, you can really burn through power. And as you can see, I built up my Omega Beams pretty fast because you're doing a lot of clipping and all of it counts. So you can really build up your Omega pretty fast. Boom. By the time I get fully through my rotation, my Mega's up. And the way my rotation works, I'm always spamming heals. This spreads all your pheromones and also gives a burst heal. This gives a burst heal, and that gives a burst heal to you and the most damaged person. And in nature, your priority heal actually heals more than one person besides yourself. So this is why I consider, even though nature doesn't really have any powers that heal and damage at the same time, it allows you to focus more on damage than any other power. Electric's great for battle healing, but you got to watch health bars way more with electric. You don't have many HOTs keeping people up, whereas if I keep hitting this, you're always going to have HOTs up. I technically don't ever have to come back to put these back up. I can just keep hitting this even when I'm running down the hallway. I'm going to stop and hit that as it comes back up, just to keep my pheromones out and in the environment. And you'll see people will immediately be getting healed when they start getting hit. And the range on it is amazing. And this is the strength of nature. All those HOTs allows you to not just sit there and watch health bars all the time. If you stay in your rotation, they're going to be getting burst heals constantly. They're getting HOTs constantly, and I'm clipping everything. Clipping. You're getting a heal on the third of this, but I'm also clipping that out. Clip. 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 You don't have to play the animation all the way. It's a big deal. And that's how you do it. So you'll get to see this in the run. I'm going to show you. It's in fast forward, so you guys don't have to sit through the whole thing. We did have a tank that was pretty bad, but I'll explain that in that part of the video when we get there. So I'll see you in the video in just a second. Thanks, guys. So as you can see here, we start off the raid, getting right into the fray. Coming up, I've got all my HOTs up already. Yep, really taking it. We're already starting to realize that the tank's not super great here. So I did cut out a big portion of this video where we wiped a couple of times in the hallways. Just nobody knew where the tank even was. He was just kind of flying around, um, which is kind of embarrassing for this content, to be honest, that we're kind of clearing the hallways really without a tank. But it is what it is. If you guys will see, Atomic Clockwork is DPSing down there. He steps in and becomes the tank and does a great job. Everything goes super smooth. Sped up. This is where I cut everything out, and Atomic kind of took over, and everything smoothed out from here. Once Atomic took over, started tanking. Shout out to Atomic, did a great job. No problems, no wipes from here. Everything just went smooth as butter after he started tanking. Wish he would have tanked from the beginning. Would have saved a lot of problems and confusion. Yeah. Um, we ended up cutting, or I ended up cutting out like 10 minutes of this video just because there was confusion and trying to kick him. And at first I wanted to give the guy a shot, and maybe it was his first time, but I don't even think he was interested in the raid, to be honest. It was weird. Atomic takes over. We start having a smooth run, and you can see not really anybody dying. Look at people's health bars. You'll see them drop down a little bit, but that's where you need to have a little confidence in your arts that that failsafe's going to kick in and keep everybody alive. And your HOTs are going, and you're constantly hitting them with burst heals when you hit Flourish and when you hit Bloom, which is your priority heal. I believe that's the name of it. Been a while since I looked at the names. Love the Blue Lantern powers. Such a great addition to battle healing and just healing in general. I don't always use that group heal, and I'm forgetting the name right now, but and you can see some big yellow numbers popping there. I don't always use it as damage. If danger is close and I don't want to go in and get smacked, I'll just use it as a straight up heal. It's a great heal. It's a great damage move. It doesn't split damage. It's a great part of everyone's rotation. If you don't have it, try to get it. You can always go to a more traditional, straight up nature healer route. Before we had two trays and Blue Lantern and White Lantern powers, no problem doing B&E plus, straight up battle healing. Now, I would swap some things out here and there, especially in a weaker group or a weaker tank. I would go a little more just straight up protection. I'm only running one shield here. If I had a weak tank or a group that's just constantly dying, or constantly, I shouldn't say constantly dying. Think of the pools in B&E when they just stand in the pools and expect you to heal them through it. As you know, eventually they're going to die. There's nothing you're going to be able to do about it. You can heal them, you can shield them for a while, but the shield's going to break, it's going to run out. All the heals in the world isn't going to save them from those black pools forever. But especially now that people are running pages. When pages is undergeared, it's hitting them for 300,000 and 400,000 hit health points, and you'll see people run it all the time and expect you to keep them alive, which you can do. That's one of the beauties of nature is for people like that are running undergeared like that and running pages when they really shouldn't be running pages. It will keep them alive. Not always, and sometimes I won't lie. I'll let them die on purpose just to kind of teach them a lesson. Like, you really shouldn't be running that artifact unless you've got it all the way to 200. Some artifacts you can run undergeared, or run at 80 and you'll get some benefit out of them. Pages is more of a detriment unless you have it at 200. Once it's to 200, Pages is my favorite artifact in the game. Boosts all your stats. So, I mean, for a battle healer, it's boosting 4 stats for me. I mean, it's giving me more Dom. It's giving me way more Resto, way more Might, way more Precision. So if I ever decided I wanted to go hybrid, I could, because I'm getting boosts to all those stats. Part of the reason I'm able to get well into a million one bite as a healer is because of Pages. Pages and Poison Ivy make that all possible. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching the video. Subscribe, like. See you on the next one.